Clay Taylor sitting in alongside me, Matt Simon. It's the Friday edition of Studio 12. Connor McQueen is back this week. He suckered Armani Watts into come and visit here. Did he have to pay for one of your meals? You have to pay for one of your meals or something to get you over here, or did you come out of the goodness of your kind heart?
I just came out of goodness of my kind heart, you know.
Yeah, guys are lining up now. Word's getting out. You know, they're trying to get on the show. They're trying to get on the airwaves.
Well, Clay, we were talking about this yesterday. Connor has yet to come up with a name for his segment.
I'm sure Clay has a bountiful list of names.
I don't think the list of names that I would come up with are family radio safe or appropriate, so I think I'll just abstain from commenting at this moment.
So Connor McQueen, Armani Watts with us here. And, guys, first off, congrats on the win. That had to be a whole lot of fun. I know it's just one game, but what a great way to kick off the season, Armani.
Yeah, it was really fun, especially first game of the year. You never know what to expect, so to go to overtime like that and to come out with a win is a good one.
And it's been a while. Maybe you guys, I don't remember how long y'all have been here. I know you've been here a while, both of you, but get to open at home. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a first. Usually been a road game.
Yeah. Yeah, were you here? Yeah, I guess we have been here for a while. I've been here for a while.
You were here for Florida, I think.
Yeah, I was here for Florida, and then Rice that was the following year. Yeah,
you're old, dude.
It all intertwines together, after a while.
Yeah, not as old as us though. That's for sure. For me, at least, I can't necessarily speak for Clay there. Armani, talk to me a little bit about the flow of that game. You know, there were highs and lows for you guys, but to a man, everyone that we heard from in Tuesday's press conference and even after the game, we're talking about just how the team was able to put aside the end of the fourth quarter and just focus on what they had to do in overtime. How proud were you of what you guys were able to accomplish by doing that?
I was really proud of the team for that because we played hard though for a good three and a half quarters, and then we knew we let it slip away from us. We knew we had the momentum all game, and we just after that fourth quarter just let it go and go on to the next play. And so that's what we did in the overtime. We just put in the overdrive and just won the game.
Is it exciting for you maybe, not the mistakes that were made defensively or offensively really in that fourth quarter, but it's exciting to know that everything's correctable, everything can be fixed, and what a way for you guys to learn off of some of those mistakes.
Yeah, and that's why I think that was a good first game for us, not like just having a way better game than we used to have for the first game. We went through adversity the first game, so we're not going to be relaxed when we're up. We're not going to just throttle down. We're just going to keep the gas on.
Connor, what's something that maybe you learned about your teammates during the course of that game, or maybe after watching the film of that game, that maybe you didn't know going into the game, or maybe you had a question mark about a certain element of the team or a certain element of your responsibility maybe?
And, I guess to start, being a quarterback, to start with the quarterback position and being with Trevor and everything, I've always talked about how well he is and staying even-keeled and everything. But, you always get into a game, and there's the emotions of a game, and there's the highs and the lows. But that was one thing I was very impressed with him on, is that he did stay very even-keeled. You can't say emotionless because you can't play this game emotionless. But there weren't too many peaks and valleys to where he stayed pretty even throughout the entire game, whether it's the first quarter, second, third, or into the fourth, or even overtime. To where I think a lot of guys look to that and they see how he's responding to these kind of things, and I think that's going to help us really going forward. And especially going into overtime, I think that's one thing that really shows the preparation that we did throughout fall camp. Because, there's multiple times, as Armani can attest to, that we did do overtime periods that Coach Sumlin implements into practice just so, we've had one the last 3 years now, and whenever we get into a situation like that, it's not the first time we've been in that situation to where Coach Sumlin calls us up, says what we need to do your job, take care of your business, and then go on with it when we win the game in overtime.
Yeah, well, how about the specialists? 'Cause I know you're a part of that group as well.
Right.
And I think that young group performed really well. From my vantage point, they did really well.
Yeah, they played outstanding. Starting with, Shane Trapuk, he kicked the ball, like a seasoned veteran. It was pretty cool seeing him get fired up, pinning UCLA down inside the 10 or 15 multiple times, and seeing his reaction and Coach Banks' reaction, and then Christian Robertson did a great job snapping the ball. Daniel made some good kicks. He missed the first one on the field goal, but that's correctable. Luckily it didn't really impact anything in the result, but he's going to keep on getting better going forwards. And Austin Fry had himself an open field tackle, which then he told the 12th man, the fans, to give me some more. I know, are you not entertained? And I was like, oh gosh. And then he circled all the way back around the field, and him and Shane met in the middle, and they did probably arguably the widest chest bump I've ever seen.
Yes.
I mean, there was a solid 3 inches of air underneath each of their cleats.
They had the vertical jump of a Pop-Tart coming out of the toaster.
It was awkwardly impressive at how inadequate both of the verticals were at the exact same time. And I mean, and no disrespect to them at all. They're phenomenal athletes at what they do, but jumping is not what they do.
Well, there's an art, Armani, to a good chest bump and a good celebration, isn't there?
So I just in the moment I just jump and hopefully
he jumps. He jumps.
Just go with it. On that note, defensively, I thought, watching from the sidelines, that you guys as a defense, you're playing with such a, maybe swagger is a good word for it, but it's such a confident, and it's not necessarily a cocky confidence, it's just a confident air. Like when the defense goes out on that field, you get the feeling that they are in charge. Do you guys get that? Do you feel? I know it's just one game, but what I saw on Saturday really has me excited for the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's what we like to go out and we don't want to go down. You go out there emotionally, like you said, with no energy. That's what we go every day in practice. Have juice when you go out there. So we want to have fun when we go out there. So and especially when the 12th man is loud like that, you can't help but be excited and be like, we're ready to go hunt. So we're out there with a lot of juice, confidence, like you said, swagger. That's how we like to be.
Hunt is a great way to put it, Clay, especially for the DBs, because I'm telling you, when they're out there, it is a treat to watch you guys go at it for sure.
It's a fun group. I just wish that we could put maybe like 2 or 3 more of you on the field and not be misaligned. So I love watching y'all play.
Speaking of fun, we've got Armani Watts, Connor McQueen with us here on Studio 12. Armani, what's some of the things you like to do away from the field? You guys are college students. You guys are still essentially kids as you're growing through college. What are some of the things you like to do away from the field?
Well, like I've probably seen during the spring and not during the season, me and Chris can go skateboard. But now we come home, watch different TV series. We're on Game of Thrones right now, way after everybody else.
We started probably around the same time, and I finished right as fall camp was ending up. So
I haven't watched that show yet. I'm kind of scared because I hear it's incredibly addicting.
Yeah,
crazy.
I just started Last Chance U last night on Netflix. Have you guys seen this already?
I
haven't.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it. Not safe for work and not safe for the family. But
good disclaimer there.
Yeah, if you like a good behind the scenes football story, then I highly recommend that one.
Last Chance U.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out. You said skateboarding. Is that would you say you're the best skateboarder of the group, or you got other ones maybe?
No, he's not. I'll say
it. Out of the team, I'm the second best, probably.
Behind your roommate,
yeah.
Behind Christian. What's that like rooming with one of your teammates like that? I assume it happens quite a bit on the team, but how much fun is that? How does that really help that off the field chemistry?
It's just fun because you both going through the same stuff. I practice all day, school. You got the same schedules basically, so just know somebody's going through the same thing you're going through. Just both feel relaxed when you get home and both want to do the same things, and that's just really what made us bond together. It's just a connection like that.
Yeah, last year I lived with we've lived in a house of 5 guys, and myself and then 3 of the other guys were on the football team still, and our 5th roommate was not. So it seemed like we'd always be coming home kind of late and getting up early, and our other solo roommate who was no longer playing, he was kind of by himself quite a bit, just kind of looking around like, hey, what am I gonna do now? So it's good because you get in the routine of things and stuff, and you do build that camaraderie to where you have your teammates by your side at all times, and whenever other guys come over, it's just like being in the locker room to where that camaraderie transfers from the locker room to the field. So just hanging out to where I think it's really beneficial. Living with teammates. Yeah.
Texas A&M Prairie View Saturday at 11. Tomorrow at 11. First Responders Day. First Responders tickets just $30 for you and your families. Log on to 12thman.com/tickets and get your tickets today. Connor, give me a player's perspective on a game like this, because I think fans, media, heck, even some of us will kind of look at the opponent and go, "Oh, Prairie View, that's done." But you guys in no way look at it like that, do you?
No, and I think that's one thing that we're focusing on this year. The coaches have been preaching it since the UCLA game was over. It's always got to be a nameless, faceless opponent. And I think, that really one of the things that we've been working on is not necessarily peaking so early. We want to get better each and every week to whenever we're getting down to the end of the season is whenever we're really hitting our stride and we're hitting our peak, to where it doesn't matter who we're playing or what day of the week it is. We want to get a little bit better each and every day. To where, I mean, yesterday was one of the hotter practices that we had. I think heat index was up around 106 once we started. But, I mean, everyone was, talking before practice and throughout practice, make sure we get better today. Don't just think don't look at Saturday and think that maybe you can ease up or just try to get through the day. We want to make sure that we're getting better each and every day. And I think that's one place that we've really matured as a team there.
Yeah, Armani, just real quick, when you talk about getting better, you guys as a defense, maybe you specifically, however you want to handle it, you watch the film from Saturday. Obviously, you guys were able to get quite a bit of pressure on a tremendous quarterback and throw him off. What are some of the things, as you personally, maybe your group, you circled us after watching the film and said, you know what, we got to do this better, we got to do this better?
Defensively, better communication and alignment, knowing where to be, knowing where to fit, and just being sound in the coverages. We really gave away a lot of yards last week, but that's the things we've been going over is communication, knowing the signals, knowing where you need to be, and just being able to talk to each other.
And
when we talk, we can be the best defense out there.
Yeah, sorry about that. As some of that, honestly, I mean, you practice it, you prep it as much as you can, but some of that you got to kind of go through a game to sort of figure everything out, don't you?
Yeah, but that's what the practice. We practice with loud music, so it's just getting the routine of things. It's just going over every day, and then you're gonna start getting used to it. And then in game time, it can be louder and everything, but you'll know where you need to be looking, know where the signals are coming from, who's giving the signals, and then it's just getting used to giving the calls.
Yeah, that's one thing that a lot of people don't really think about is, whenever we have opposing teams coming into Kyle Field and then whenever we go on the road, you always think about the offense having trouble communicating, especially whenever, we're playing at home. We want the 12th man's incredible. And, it's one of the loudest places in the country to where, it was noticeable multiple times where the UCLA offense was having trouble communicating. And, Coach Moore came out and said that they did have trouble communicating and they couldn't hear the quarterback at times. And we take pride in that, but then again, you got to also think our defense is having to communicate in that exact same environment to where it does become so much more important to be able to communicate and be on the same page and use hand signals and stuff like that. So I remember there were times in last year where during certain periods of practice, the defense would go inside into the indoor facility and just crank up the music even louder so we can, just so they can't even hear each other speak at all, just so they were communicating solely with hand signals.
All right, we're back here on the Friday edition of Studio 12. Connor McQueen, still nameless segment. Connor and Armani Watts with us here. Clay Taylor in with us here as well. Again, Clay, maybe we should solicit the fans, Clay, for names.
Let's put it to a Twitter vote. We need to come up with the top 3 at least.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's only
Thoughts?
fair.
Thoughts?
Armani, how much are you hoping just one day Connor in one of the full pad practices just forgets to put the black jersey on? You can be honest. You can be honest.
Or don't.
Just a smile. It's a radio show.
I just still know he's a quarterback. I couldn't even see myself hitting the quarterback at practice.
That means it makes it extra fun in the game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, how much fun was that for you guys as a defense to execute the game plan, to get out there, to just really throw off what I think is going to be a really good offense, to throw them off a rhythm almost the entire game?
It felt good. Coming in, we really didn't know what they were going to be in, the new offensive coordinator. But the way we prepared for 2 weeks, feels good that we had the right game plan and that we executed it right. And they were a great offense, and I could tell they're during the season they're going to get some things fixed and they're going to make some noise in the Pac-12.
One thing I wanted to come back to a minute ago was, Simon's question about not taking an opponent for granted. You're talking about nameless. Connor, you're talking about a nameless and faceless opponent every week. And I think that's especially important when you are playing a team that is not going to be a threat to beat us from, I think, everyone's perspective who pays attention to college football. But what's really important, I think, in the early going of the game is that we do take advantage of our opportunities. We do get up early. So that way guys like Connor McQueen get reps in this game because, you're looking, 2 months down the road, you just never know who's going to have to play and win. And so I think selfishly from my perspective, I'm looking forward to the second half of this game so I can see some guys get out there who haven't either had a chance to play yet in the A&M uniform, or just get to see some old faces
Right.
like Connor's back out there again getting some snaps.
Yeah, that's what Coach Sumlin's been preaching all week is, like the starters, the ones who played last week, we know what they're going to do in the game. But some of the younger guys, some of the twos, some of the threes, they're going to get their opportunity to play this week. And you need to show that you're going to be ready to play in practice, because if you don't this week, then they're not going to put you in the game. But we really need to see where a lot of the guys who didn't get opportunities to play last week, what they're going to do and how they're going to react whenever they get in the game, because there's going to come a time that some of these guys, that's the glory of college football, is you never know who it's going to be. But we're going to be counting on guys late in the year that we're not counting on right now, and
Right.
we got to figure out who those guys are going to be and how they're going to play right now. That way we have a better idea going forward.
Yeah, and Armani, I guess this same question for you sort of would be, what names on the defensive side of the ball did we not necessarily get to see a whole lot of snaps from that you have seen in practice through fall camp that have a whole lot of potential and will definitely contribute to this defense as the season progresses? What are a couple of those names?
We have some young safeties, Larry Pryor, Chapman back there. Tyrod Dodson played a little bit, but I think you'll see more of him this game. Even like new 12th man, Cullen's going to be out there. Going to see what he's all about. But we got a lot of names on the defense, rotating every day, all day, and they're working hard to earn the coach's trust to be put out in the game. And especially with special teams, a lot of young guys will be on special teams, kickoff, punt return. Just being out there makes the coach more comfortable putting you on the defense or offensive side, because he knows you can do your job and then you're unselfish.
And you mentioned Cullen, and I wanted to bring that up too, because you as one of the starters, you're going to be out there in all the big games that started. But it's fun for you guys to see these guys. Now Cullen obviously has earned his spot and earned his scholarship, but it's fun for you to see guys like that get scholarships and get in games when they get a chance, because you see how hard they work, don't you?
Yeah, every day you see how hard they work. They push themselves. They go through all the yelling and griping at them, and they just fight through it. And then to see that it all pays off, it puts a smile on my face.
And, Connor, you talk about the nameless, faceless opponent. It does work the other way, doesn't it? When you go to Auburn, to Alabama, you guys truly have to take – you understand it's a big game, but you have to take the same approach when you walk into that locker room, don't you?
Right. It's not like you can just, sit down on Monday and like, okay, we're playing Auburn this week. Let's just turn it. Let's practice harder. Let's be better. It's not like you can just do that and say, I'm going to arise. I'm going to just step up my level of play just to my opponent's level. No, you've got to continue to get better each and every week, and you've got to do what you do and, kind of do your job and kind of who we are as a team. It's not like we can just change that each and every week. You can't be successful doing that. You've got to – once we establish our identity, that's going to be our identity going forward. And, we've got to keep getting better and increasing our level of play each week.
Clay, you were talking about Twitter earlier, talking about getting a Twitter poll going, trying to come up with a name for this. We kind of saw an impromptu Twitter poll start the other day based off wing sauces. And
Okay.
Trevor Knight,
Where is this going?
Trevor Knight kicked this off with he just tweeted Asian Zing. And then everybody started following you. Would you drop in, Armani?
Well, it was me, Christian, and Trevor. Christian put honey smoked barbecue, and I put teriyaki sauce.
And then the fun hater comes in, steps in.
Him and Boone.
So do people really care? I don't know why some people really think that we care about what wing flavor they like, and then Boone throws up the Twitter polls. Do you care what flavor every wings like? And I think we're 60-40 on the no side. So, I think, we're just, sending a message. And also, in light of everything, in full disclosure, we were all sitting at the dinner table together, eating, while talking about this or while tweeting at the exact same time. So, we were having a lot of fun with it. They actually, y'all did it I don't know.
We did it a couple weeks ago. We did, I think Trevor put pomegranate or something like that. I put banana. I forgot what Christian put.
Yeah, cantaloupe or something.
Yeah, cantaloupe. It was just messing with the people on Twitter.
Does it amaze you, I guess, or is it fun for you to interact with fans that way, and how quickly they'll jump in and kind of respond to that? Does it kind of, I don't want to say humanize the fan base, but is it kind of fun for you to see how they kind of respond and have fun with that too?
Yeah, it's just fun, and then it's a way for them to see that we're just normal people still.
Yeah.
We're goofy, weird. I'm super weird.
That's true.
That is true.
We're normal people, nothing special really.
Yeah, it is fun, just talking, interacting with other people on things that aren't about football. Just about stupid stuff like wing sauce. I mean, it makes things interesting. It was fun.
Look, do you have a favorite wing sauce, Connor?
I do. I'm a honey barbecue or spicy barbecue with some ranch. That was Caruso tweeted at me and said he's honey barbecue with ranch.
The double dipper.
The double, and I just hats off emoji, or hats off gif.
That's all good for that.
And I was like, yeah, I'm right there with you, man.
I just go with the medium, maybe a little medium garlic. I don't kind of mix it up a whole lot there.
Teriyaki or original hot for me.
I can't do anything spicy. I just get sweaty. And
It's the ginger in
and
you.
I start crying, and I have a bad time. I get it in my eyes, and I just have a bad time.
You guys will have to mix up his wings if he's not paying attention one time. Throw the extra hot in there.
Nope.
This is plain, but it's really hot.
Super
way.
plain. You got a favorite, Clay?
Yeah, there's a restaurant that will have to remain nameless because they're not a sponsor of this show, but they have a Chipotle honey mustard sauce. That's my favorite.
Yeah, that is a pretty good sauce there. That's for sure. Well, thanks again, guys, for your time there.
Yeah.
You trying to grow a Boone Niederhofer
I'm
stash
not.
here?
No, the week, it rolls on, and sometimes you wake up and you forget to shave. So
That master's program is
yeah,
so difficult.
grad school's working me over right now between grad school and class. I'll find some time.
So, Armani, we get Boone on the show. He comes in with the mustache. We get little Twitter pictures and stuff going, and it's gone like the next day.
Oh, he shaved it immediately afterwards.
Very
It got too much attention. The mustache
I
was
was like-
becoming
I was
bigger
like,
than
where'd he
Boone.
go?
Yeah.
gone.
He was afraid. So whenever he gets his catches this week, he wants everybody yelling Boone. He doesn't want everybody yelling mustache.
But it is.
It was taking over his persona, and he wants his
You're right.
persona.
It's
You're
going to
right.
be immortalized on the video board, I believe, because he did shoot his headshots with the stash, right?
He did.
Yeah,
he
he
did, and he took his senior photos, or not his senior. Just our senior picture in his group picture with the receivers with the mustache. So it is there, and it's not going. It's not going anywhere in those pictures. That's
No.
for sure.
It's good stuff. All right, Connor, Armani, thanks, guys. Have a lot of fun this weekend, and best of luck.
Yep. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks
Good luck,
for having
guys.
us.